This is Stephen Wright, and you're listening to the Human Centipod podcast with John and Carmen. It's the only podcast with 100 legs. And I assume that John and Carmen have 4 of them. So right now you don't even need to use your legs. Use your ears. And enjoy the show. Thanks.
Welcome to the Human Centipod.
Hi, this is Carmen Lynch.
And this is John Reynolds, and you're listening to the Human Centipod. What the
I wanted to say it at the same time.
Are you excited about the show today?
I'm so excited that I hope everyone checks out Patreon, patreon.com/the Human Centipod.
Yeah, give us money. Now let's get started.
Holidays come but once a year. Holidays are the things we cheer. Oh, this segment is about holiday. It's about Christmas.
John's eating cookies, a lot of cookies, so he can't talk right now, but he'll be back.
It's a holiday season. We're getting lots of cookies. We got these cookies from our neighbor, Greek neighbor. We live in a Greek neighborhood.
I love Greek cookies.
A great Greek neighborhood.
You know, these cookies are deceiving because if I was a child, I'd be like, ooh, these are just beige. There's nothing, no frosting, no sprinkles. But when you taste it, it's the most amazing thing. I can't even say
I
it.
like the idea of camouflage cookies to keep fool
The kids
children.
away?
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
adults can eat them.
Yeah, I like
Cookies
that too.
that look like broccoli.
That already sounds disgusting. Excuse me while I'm eating.
But they taste like Krispy Kreme
Like
donuts.
chocolate? Yeah. Chocolate broccoli
Fucking
sticks?
Those fucking stupid kids don't know. They see broccoli, fuck them. Anyway, happy holidays, whatever holiday you're celebrating. And
Or none.
we're just going to talk a little bit about holiday seasons in general because of some stuff that we're going through. What we're going through, of course, is a fucking holiday during the pandemic. And speaking of the pandemic, the neighbor who gave us these cookies,
Yeah.
refusing to get vaccinated.
You know, I went to get a massage. And what did I tell
Which
you?
is what you do in a pandemic, right? Stay 6 feet away,
John,
except when I need
masks
my fucking...
were worn. This is why I think I've mentioned it before. This woman is very religious.
Oh,
So
cookie.
for some reason, I'm not trying to be biased, but Jesus is literally staring at me when I get my ass rubbed, and I feel safe. So
She's got a picture of Jesus, or she summons him.
Mary, I mean, there's a lot of saints around the house. You think I'm kidding, but this whole
She's
house
very
is
religious.
covered with saints. I don't even know their names, so to me, they're all saints.
I went
okay?
there once.
And you never went back. That's because you are disturbing and you felt sinful. That's what happened. So she won't get the vaccine either because she doesn't trust the government. Now, is that normal for religious people to not trust the government?
I mean, I guess now, because the government seems like they're going, or so many governments, you know, that whole shut down churches because of the pandemic. Oh, you really just don't like God. No, we don't want to get the virus. That kind of argument.
Because I would have thought she totally believes in the virus. She wears, you know, everything. She brings me. When I went there once, when I was on my way to the airport, she gave me a little Ziploc full of like wipes with bleach on them. She's like, please don't touch anything. So I would have thought that someone like that would
Right.
believe in a vaccine.
Well, she believes in things she can't see, like germs and God.
That's
right?
a great line.
But then, I'm full of them, folks. I'm full of them. And I'm full of cookies.
And I'm going to steal that line for my stand-up come 2023.
2023 when stand-up is allowed again.
Yes.
But
Yes,
then
I
you
mean.
give her something. You give her something she can see and tangibly feel. I don't believe in this. I don't believe in it.
Like a vaccine. Or
Yeah.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus
You can touch
in
him.
the mall.
In the mall, yeah.
She only believes in Santa Claus when in the mall clauses.
John, can we talk about Jesus for a second? Because I had an epiphany while I was running today.
Mm.
And by running, I mean jogging/walking. I was like, Jesus, do I believe in you? Sometimes I do. But I don't want to believe in him too much because I might get excited, go all the way and think there's a heaven, and then die and be sorely disappointed.
That there isn't a heaven or a him?
So it's better to, this is what it feels like. It feels like you're in high school, right? And your friend tells you, oh my God, Charlie has the hots for you. And Charlie say it's the hottest guy at school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she tells you that Charlie totally has the hots for you. You want to believe it because it sounds awesome, right? But if you believe it and it's not true, you'll be bummed out.
Well, so basically your life rule is keep your expectations low at all times.
I think so, but it's ironic because I've always raised them too high.
Yeah, you constantly do.
Okay, calm down.
I mean, you don't listen to your own rule at all.
Okay, maybe that's why I'm doing the rule. Maybe I've realized it and I'm trying to change, John. I almost called you Charlie.
When are you
I almost called you my Charlie.
Because I'm hot.
I'm taking it back. Ha!
Let's talk about our Christmas tree.
Okay.
So we got our Christmas tree, and this was interesting. We got it, and the guy was like, we got Frasers. They all got these fucking names, what these trees are.
You know what I thought he said when he said the Frasers? I thought he meant like a couple that buys the trees. You know, the Frasers.
Oh, the Frasers come by and buy these trees so much, we call them the Fraser trees.
But he was talking about the trees. Go ahead, sorry.
The Frasers are from Canada and North Carolina, is what he said. And you were like, what do we do? You talk like my mother. What do we do to keep the tree alive?
That's so mean because you were dying to know too.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to say it.
Because I don't care.
And he goes, you put water in there and you put some maple syrup in there is what he's heard. But you should Google it is what he said.
Yeah.
And it turns out that, maple. And you said that was strange because don't trees make maple syrup? Why are we forcing them to drink it? And I said, it's like when they're just trying to survive, just like if we were stuck on a deserted island, we'd have to drink our own urine. Well, the tree just got chopped down. If it's going to live, it's got to drink its own urine. That's if another tree's tree friend gets bitten by a snake, he's got to pee maple syrup on it.
Okay,
to
now
stop
you're
the
going
poison.
too far. Okay.
That's where I'm going with this.
I don't know. It feels like the tree is actually drinking its own blood. That's what it feels like. Because
why
listen,
can't it be urine?
Because I'll tell you why. Because the tree was chopped down. So it's like saying you were beheaded, right?
Yeah.
And now in order to keep you alive, we're going to make your neck drink blood.
Yeah, but that doesn't make any... My mapping is better because if you need nutrients and you're on a deserted island...
I know, I get it. I was just being mean.
Right? Urine.
Calm down, Charlie.
Maple syrup is the tree's urine. It's brilliant. Fucking, you can use that in 2023 for your stand-up fucking set.
The sad part is our tree is still wrapped up in that fishnet outfit that they put it in so we can carry it home.
Stripper trees.
The stripper tree. So we put it in the stand. Of course, I gave it water immediately because I am a caring non-mother, but full of maternal instincts.
Non-mother.
Put a ton of water, some organic maple syrup, and he's happy as a bee. Is that an expression? Happy as a...
How do you know it's a he?
Because I tried him.
Oh my! What does that mean? That's why your tongue has so many splinters.
That's not boring.
We're burying the lead because we get a lot of you guys contacting us, and we have a fan. I'm going to say their. I'm going to say their name.
Okay. Just
because
the first name.
it's not their name. It's a.
Oh.
I'm just going to call him the Great Dane.
Okay.
The Great Dane. We have no idea who he is.
No.
Or if it's a he. I think
it
it's
could
a
be
he.
a dog.
He wrote, "Hey John, love the podcast. Since Carmen is part Spanish, I'm wondering if she knows Tío de Nadal or the song Caca Tío, which is a traditional children's Christmas song in Spain about a log that poops gifts when kids hit it with sticks. That may be funny for the show." Well, Great Dame, thank you for writing them. We actually have talking about this, and we forgot about it.
So thank you.
Until you wrote. So thank you.
I'm going to
Carmen,
sing the song. Ready?
Tell everybody.
Hold on.
You're going to sing the song and then
because there
explain
is a song. I don't know all the words, but it goes like this. Gagatillo, na na da da la, da 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 da. It's something like that.
I thought those were actual Spanish words. And na da da da. You just keep saying nothing.
I just know the first
nothing,
two.
nothing.
Gagatillo.
Nada, 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 nada.
And basically, this is a log that poops. Hold on.
Wait, you just sang the song for the log that poops?
Yeah,
You got to frame this a little better
Okay.
because no one knows what you're talking about,
Okay,
especially
let me explain the pooping log, okay? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. What are
Hold
you
on.
fucking Googling it? This was your life. You should know it. This is like
I
me
know,
going,
but I want to make sure.
let me explain who Santa Claus is as I'm looking it up on Google.
That's really mean and completely not true.
You're looking it up on Google. Oh, you're going through your texts.
And what I want to do is...
We're recording. What are you
I know,
doing?
but you're going to pause and fix this.
I didn't.
So what I want to do really fast is explain, because there was this comic strip I forgot to send to you. There was a comic strip where they explained it perfectly, and I sent it to my sister. Here it is. And here it is. Okay. The pooping log, El Tío, is a Catalan Christmas tradition. Basically, I always forget this. It's not really Spain. It's just Catalunya, which is like near It's Barcelona and other towns, okay? So basically there's a log that you chop down. So it's kind of like our tree, right? You cut down a log and then you put a blanket over him, okay?
Wait a minute. How do you cut down a log? You mean you
just get a log, okay?
Yeah,
I mean,
okay, you don't cut it down.
I mean, you don't have to cut
You
it
just
down.
grab a log.
You can find a log
All right.
somewhere, okay? Now, this is a magic log, and basically it poops.
Are you even Spanish?
Quiet, John, I'm trying to explain it to people. And it poops presents on Christmas Day, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, 2 or 3 days before Christmas, you give the log. This is where you go. Spanish people or Catalan people are fucking crazy and
This
weird.
is when?
Okay.
I was thinking that when you said cut down a log.
Okay, so basically, I don't like the word log either because it sounds like a shit.
Log.
Okay. So basically, you want to give the log some food. Okay. So the log is like a doll. So you give it some food, some tasty food, and you want it to poop. So you take the blanket and you cover the log because, that's where you put the presents. So you don't want to tell the kids that. But then the kids,
The actual
beat
presents
the
are
shit.
in
They beat with sticks.
Like
they
a
beat the
piñata.
shit, yes, out of the log. And then it poops little gifts. And usually the gifts are candy. Like my sister, sometimes when her kids were little, the log would poop like a board game. You know what I mean? And that's a kind of big you're like, how did this little tiny log, because they come in all sizes, like, things that men have.
I still haven't quite figured out what Carmen's referencing here.
But they poop. Like they can poop a fucking keyboard.
But
Or a
I
bicycle.
see. So they come down and see their giant keyboard gift, and mom says that came from the log.
No.
over there.
This is why it's candy, because you want to put the gift under the blanket. Okay.
Oh my God.
So basically,
I'm so confused.
John, this
Yeah.
is what happens. Okay. Picture a log that was in your fireplace.
That
okay?
part I can do, yeah.
Picture that. Then you put a blanket over it. You
Now
beat
I'm
the
lost.
shit out of it with sticks. And then, while the kids aren't looking because they're beating the shit out of the log, you stick some cookies under the blanket, or you stick something small, and then you go, oh my God, I think it probably pooped something. I mean, how weird is that? Can you imagine if Santa Claus just took shits of gifts?
Why is the log important? And why is there anything in the tradition or the history of it that explains why the log is important and why it shits? Why couldn't it just be mushrooms that grew on the log? So it's a little more organic to the story of a log, and then the mushrooms burst open and then gifts come out of those. Look at me creating cultures.
That long pause was Carmen being speechless because I'm so goddamn creative. Nah, I'm just kidding. She was looking shit up on Google.
It doesn't say, John. And I think it's because nobody knows. Maybe that was the only, I bet that was the only thing they had. I mean, it's like, why do we have a tree? Why is it a tree? Does it represent nature? Why is it a tree?
The tree is from the pagan era. That's all celebrating the solstices and shit like that.
Yeah.
And spring and the dead of winter, and it's all seasonal. And Santa Claus is from I think it's German, isn't it? I think it started in Germany.
Uh-huh.
But even that makes more sense, that a strange, fat, white-bearded man would be dropping off gifts. Makes more sense than a fucking log that poops gifts.
The log symbolizes the gifts of warmth and light that were given by the earth in the form of wood.
Okay, so it's sort of pagan, is what
Okay.
it sounds like.
Yeah.
All right, now it's making a little bit more sense. Still don't get why it had to shit.
This is the part that's kind of gross, and I don't know if you want to hear this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Usually the cagatillo poops turrón, and turrón is this nougat, chewy brown shit. So I don't know if they decided to do that because it looks like shit.
Oh, yeah, that's gross. But the Spanish are obsessed with pooping because do you want to explain those little dolls, the figurines?
The caganer?
Yeah.
The caganer
Explain what that is.
Is like a shepherd, and you put him in your nativity set, and he shits into the earth of your nativity set, and it provides fertilization, just like how poop is, fertilizes the earth. So in a lot of Spanish Belens or Catalan, a lot of the northeastern part of Spain, a lot of Catalans, you'll see on their nativity set, you'll see a little shepherd bent over with his pants down, taking a little dump. And that's gotten so popular that in order to make money for many years, Spain or Barcelona has sold cagatillos as Donald Trump, Obama. Like, I think I have what? Which ones I have?
We
Donald
have a couple.
Trump,
Trump and
Mr.
Obama
Bean
are here.
taking
Mr.
a
Bean.
shit.
Yeah. They're all bent over shitting.
They're all bent over. And the good thing about Trump's is that he's actually shitting on the Declaration of Independence or the Constitution. So,
but it started as a shepherd shitting in the nativity scene.
and there's nativity scene,
I mean, that
which
seems
is
so
provides
blasphemous. It feels like.
I know, but
That's crazy. And Spain is so religious.
I know that's what I don't understand.
And then
because my mom growing up would be like, don't wear sneakers to church.
Don't wear sneakers
Yet
to
there's
church.
a shepherd shitting
Right.
in the fucking thing next to Jesus, the baby. You know what I mean? It doesn't make
Right.
any sense.
Stop talking in church. I can't hear this shepherd shitting all over the baby Jesus. Quiet.
It's very
Show some respect for
strange.
God while he shits all over humanity. That's a shit-based culture over there in Spain. Logs are shitting, shepherds are shitting, celebrities are shitting now.
I mean, when
From
you
those
get out,
figurines.
when you land at the airport, they ask you how many times you've taken a shit. Thank you. Here I'll never. Here I'll never.
Oh my
because
God.
comedy is dead.
That's the next title for your album. Here I'll never. Give us a big, exciting Spanish send-off to this segment.
Me encanta el turrón de huevo. ¡Feliz Navidad!
Hey, let's plug our friends and then get really fucking dark.
I am here to promote Adrienne Appalucci. She's a stand-up comedian. You've seen her on the David Letterman show, and you've seen her on The Degenerates on Netflix. If you haven't, check her out. She has a new album called Baby Skeletons. She is the funniest. She's the darkest. She insults people, and she doesn't give a shit. It's wonderful. It's pure comedy, and she has a new album, Baby Skeletons. Check it out. It's on iTunes.
She's incredibly funny, and I heard the trailer for her album, and it reminded me of a case. She has a bit about missing children, and it reminded me about what we'll probably now talk about, J.C. Dugar. Do you know who that is?
No, I forget. Tell me.
She was 11 years old back in the 80s.
Okay.
And she was walking up her hill to school. Her stepfather was watching her walk up when a car pulled up. She leaned into the window as if they had asked for directions, and then she got pulled into the window, and he ran up the hill.
He saw the whole thing.
Yeah. And the car got away before he could get to it. And they never found her. Cut to 23 years later, they found her. And she was still with the guy who abducted her.
Did she look comfortable?
She
Was she blinking like help me, or was she like
Well, I only saw her in an interview after she had been, reaccustomed to life. But she was an adult in her 30s with 2 children by this freak. And I think her first one she had when she was like 13 with him, 12 or 13.
okay?
Horrific. And
How's she doing?
she seemed to be doing well when she did her 2020 interview or whatever it was.
I got to see that.
And the kids, of course, are not they're not in public because they don't want to be stigmatized by all that. But that was a missing kid case that one of the rare ones where the mother was able to get her child back 23 years later. She had already divorced the stepfather. The stepfather was a suspect for a long time because he was the last one to see the girl. So imagine him. 23 years later, they find her. He's vindicated, but his life is ruined because his wife divorced him because he was always suspect that maybe he killed her.
So
raped
did
her
he
and killed
ever
her.
go to prison?
I don't think he did. No. But
I'm
this.
really confused, John. I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So this woman
I have no answers.
ends up staying with the father of her babies.
Well,
Never
she didn't
escapes.
stay with him. She was kidnapped.
I know, but
You know what
once
that
I
is.
know. Can you be a normal person for a second?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let me get my pipe
So,
and my
oh
clown
my
hat.
God. And your what was the second thing?
Clown hat. I don't know.
My God.
You should have kept going.
So anyway, so she has these children, right? Cut to 23 years later.
Yeah.
Where did they find her? Where did you say they
So
found her?
here's the thing that in my very sketchy memory of the thing. He abducts her at 11. He's got a wife, by the way. This guy's name is Philip Garrido, I think, but I could be completely wrong. Psycho, religious, of course. His wife, psycho, religious. She's totally supports him fucking this 11-year-old. They keep her in the backyard.
What? So she knew she wasn't like Fritzl.
Yeah, not
Okay.
not like Fritzl.
Okay.
If you don't understand what Fritzl is, check our last episode. Don't even bother.
I don't
trying
know.
to come
2
up with the
episodes
number.
ago.
Yeah. And
Psychos we have known.
yeah, that's the title of it. Anyway, so they kept her. He had a series of tents and sheds and shit in his backyard, and he kept her in one of those sheds, and then had 2 children with her. And then over the years, we were talking 20 some odd years, she just had massive Stockholm syndrome, and he started to go out in public with her, like Samantha Smart,
Elizabeth Smart.
Elizabeth Smart. That happened with her. Although that happened after like a week, she immediately fell in love with this guy and was fine with
Did
walking
she
around.
really? Because I thought
No, she was like hypnotized or
brainwashed
or whatever. But it was only like a month or something. It was like there wasn't much brain there to wash, is what I'm trying to fucking get at. But thank God she survived and all that. But J.C. Dugar, over 2 decades, right? So they end up going to some campus. He wants to go see some talk about something a psycho would want to know more about, like the Republican Party or whatever.
Nice.
Some security guard notices that she and her children, who are like 8 and 10, are kind of being weird with him. Like just sort of like hanging in the background while he's walking around and doing all the talking. And then that, I don't know the details, but somehow that led to the cops finally checking this guy out. By the way, this guy was on the cops list and probation and all sorts of shit for years, and they would go and check his house and never found her. She was there the whole time.
Where is this man now? In jail?
He is in jail, yeah. I think he's still alive.
You
too.
know, I know.
And the wife is in jail.
The wife.
Yeah, because she
good,
knew.
Good. Yeah.
She knew all about it.
Interesting, though, that the kids were acting weird. That means the kids knew.
The kids, I don't know if they knew.
Why
They don't
would
really.
be acting so weird around their dad.
I think just because they live in a fucking shed 24/7.
Oh.
And then they're like, hey, what's this fucking bright orb in the sky that's
I
shining down
see.
on me?
And
I
what
think it was
state
more like
was this?
that.
Like Alabama? No offense to Alabama.
No, Northern California.
What?
Yeah, fucking, it's all over. There's
I
psychos
want
everywhere.
to apologize to Alabama.
There's
okay? I
fucking
just wanna
psychos everywhere.
apologize.
Now, is this one of those stories when I tell you about it, does it make you feel better about your own life? Because I know you like that. I know you like to hear about misery because it makes you feel good about your own life.
Well, it gives me perspective. It doesn't necessarily make me feel arrogantly like, I'm so much better.
You don't
it doesn't
feel
make me feel like
you
that.
don't feel like I am. I didn't fucking get caught when I was 11 and raped and forced to raise 2
No,
children.
because you don't know. You might get raped next week. Why does rape always come into our conversations? Can I just say for a second, though, it makes me feel really bad for these kids, and for
What kids?
For these kids.
Oh, her kids.
Yeah,
J.C.
and for her
Dugar's?
too, because I think you can be groomed when you're 11. It reminds me of the Michael Jackson thing, or any pedophile who can groom their people and make them think that that things are okay. You
Yeah,
know?
I mean,
That's so fucked up.
They're kind of different, but they're all fucked up.
It's
they're
just
both fucked up.
I know they're different, but it's
I
children.
mean, they're very different.
And I believe the
actually.
children are our future, and I just
For
we need
God's
to make
sake.
them well and let them lead the way.
By the way, what was interesting about when she got found, first of all, she created hope in all these parents that had also had their children abducted, that maybe I'll also find my child alive one day. And of course, the chances were nil for most of those people. Hers is a pretty amazing story. But because they were able to find her and intact, she was able to answer these questions that had driven the police nuts for decades. They found the videotape. Once they got this guy, they went through his shit, and they found a videotape, hundreds of videotapes that he would take. He'd drive around with his wife to playgrounds and videotape the playgrounds and go, I want her, I want her. And J.C. Dugar was on one of those tapes. So they followed her, figured out where she lived, and then it always drove them nuts. How did they get her into the car so quickly? Like, why didn't she fight more? And that's what made them suspect the stepfather, because that didn't make sense to them. And it took 20 some odd years later for them to find out, when she said, they fucking tasered me. She didn't even know what a taser was.
Okay.
But they fucking asked her to come over to the car to give directions. And then this is a good example of why you don't even go near a car, because you could think like, well, I'm not going to get in it. I'm not an idiot, but I'll go over to the car and help the person with directions, which is what she did. And then zap. And then you can't move. And they grabbed her by the lapel and pulled her into the fucking window.
Do 11-year-olds have lapels?
And you probably don't, you're probably not used to telling your kids not to do that in the 80s. Like, I feel, I mean, we grew up in the 80s. Like, I remember my parents always telling me, don't talk to strangers and
my
don't
parents
do whatever.
told me to talk to strangers.
They did?
Yes.
Why?
They didn't want me around.
Stop it. So this reminds me of that movie Room, where she was kidnapped and then she blames the mom at the end for just like being, well, you told me to be nice to everyone.
Yes, that's a great moment.
That was a great moment.
Yeah.
But I remember, this is a true story, when I was living in New Jersey.
Because she helped the guy move a couch or
move
whatever.
a couch or something. When I was living in New Jersey about maybe 15 years ago, this van, I'll never forget this. I was waiting for the bus to go into New York City, and this van stopped. Luckily on the other side of the street, so he wasn't right next to me, but it was a white van and it had no windows in the back. And he was yelling at me. He's like, I need your help. Come over here right now. Like, yelling at me. And I was like, just ignored him. He was like, hurry up. And I just walked away. And I was like, you're not really trying the right way, buddy. You're supposed to, that people are stupid if they really want to help.
Will you get the hell over here? I'm trying to kidnap you. Get over here.
But even if it was a real thing, like, don't freak the shit out of me.
Well, what are you going to, if you are in a real situation?
Then explain it. My legs are on fire.
Well, you would see that.
Or there's a snake in my van.
First
of all, what the hell am I going to do with him in this van with no windows?
There's a great comic by a web cartoonist, and it's terrible. I'll try to put it in the notes because I can't remember who it is. But it's a guy who's like, he's doing exactly, he's screaming in the street. And he's screaming, oh, my butthole. Oh, God, help me, my butthole. Please, somebody help me. Oh, my butthole. My butthole's in so much pain. And this guy comes up over to him and goes, can I help you, buddy? And then the guy stops screaming, and he goes, Tony Lazzuto says hello. And then he shoots him.
That's really funny.
I looked it up. The cartoonist is Tim Lavoie, Lavoie. He does a webcomic called Elder Cactus. Check it out. Very funny.
Was there any other time where you came close to being abducted?
One time, yes. There was a time when I was living in America. I was fresh from Spain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm 8 years old. My sister didn't tell me that my mom had sent a stranger to pick us up from school, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it wasn't a stranger. It was like a real estate agent, because we were looking for a place to live. We had just come from Spain.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister is waiting for me outside of the school. And she goes, there she is. And we jump into this woman's car. Never explains anything to me. I'm terrified until I go, we're probably not going home now. We're getting kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out it was the real estate agent, and she took us home.
Oh, so you were fine.
Yeah, but still.
Just going back to the guy screaming at you
That was so
across the
scary.
street.
Yeah.
That reminds me, when I was little, there was a guy, I was out in the front playing and with my brothers and front yard, and then all of a sudden we heard these horrible, weird screams, and we looked down the block, and there was a middle-aged, pedo-looking guy coming down on a bike, going, ooh!
If you guys
And
could
we were
see
like,
John's
oh my
face.
God, we got up and we ran. And we were like, somebody's coming. He's going to hurt us. But it turned out, I'm super young. I'm like, 6 or 7. It was a dude having a heart attack.
Oh my God.
But it sounded like he was like a Viking charging us. Because then he fell off the bike. That's the part we missed because we ran up to the house to get our parents.
See, that's,
But he was just fucking. Now, I've never heard of anyone having a heart attack and screaming while they're having it. Usually it's like but that's what I remember
It's like a bad movie.
My parents told us that later. He was having a heart attack.
I mean, maybe the man in the white van with no windows was having a heart attack.
Yeah, that's what it could have been.
And
get me a defibrillator!
And he died because of me.
Quickly! And you didn't do shit.
I didn't
for that
do
guy.
shit.
He shouldn't have been driving.
A bitch.
He shouldn't have been driving a creepy van.
Yeah, that's
if
really
he had been
his
in
fault.
if he had been in a Saab, he'd be alive today.
Also, if you're gonna have a heart attack, don't attack me. Okay, say, "Excuse me, ma'am. I think I'm having a heart attack."
You try to be polite when you're having a heart attack.
Could you help me out?
Yeah. Let's relax. Let's relax. Let's relax. Let's relax. I want to leave our listeners with something that a little exercise.
Is it about breathing?
No.
Oh.
It's called what is it called? It's called the Last Time Meditation. And it's because I'm getting really into stoicism and stoics and all that great stuff. And it's really, you just take a moment when you're doing something to go, this could be the last time I'm doing this.
That doesn't help at all.
I could get I'm not
doesn't
done.
help me. Okay.
I'm not done.
All right.
Because you could get hit by a bus. Is this helping? You get hit by a
No.
bus.
I think that already.
Or
I think about death every other minute.
Yeah, okay, maybe this isn't for you. If you're somebody who doesn't think about death all the time, do these last time meditations. They're very interesting because when you lay down to go to bed at night and you go, this could be the last time I lay down to go to sleep because I could die in my sleep, you feel the pillow in a different way. It is.
It feels like a coffin pillow.
No, it feels like a great pillow. It's amazing. It makes me feel good to do that. And I've been doing it with almost everything. This could be the last time I'm eating this cookie. I mean, it won't be.
Doesn't help.
I'm going to just keep buying more Christmas cookies if they don't keep making them for us.
Is
in the neighborhood.
stoicism a synonym for pessimism?
No.
That was a good one.
But
Thank you.
Nice joke.
Here I'll never. Thank you. John, seriously, that does not help me.
Okay. What does help you, Carmen?
I would have to have the opposite of stoicism, which would be, taste this cookie. Isn't life wonderful? That's what I need. The opposite of death. Because I already think about death too much.
You need
What's the opposite?
So you're just talking about your little method is just positive thinking.
Yes, I need that more, please. Where's that pill?
Well, that's not a pill. But let me go back to last time meditation. You're not supposed to dwell on this. Oh my God, this could be the last time.
Too late. Already
it's just
do.
the guy on the thing I'm listening to. He says it should just be a flickering thought. This could be the last time. I'm very good at that because I'm so distracted all the time. So I can make it a flickering thought. I go, this is the last time I'm gonna drink a glass of milk.
Sorry, everybody.
This is the last time Carmen's phone's gonna go off. I hope.
Oh, that means you want me to die. Is there, instead of
what?
a last time meditation, is there a first time meditation?
What would that be like?
This is the first time I'm tasting such a wonderful cookie. Let me enjoy life and think of everything as my first time. I'll be a virgin again.
Yeah. That's really just the last time meditation, but you changed the word last to first.
I don't know. Death is scary. It's time to leave. It's time to die like a stoic. John,
Carmen,
what's your Instagram?
at a fistful of babies.
Mine is at Carmen Comedian for everything. Check out everything. TikTok, all that stuff for all of us. Thank you.
You don't want to say whether you enjoyed
What?
talking to me today or anything?
Oh, I really, really enjoyed talking to you.
Oh.
I love looking at you,
Oh.
and I want to do things.
Oh.
That's dirty. Mom, don't listen. Please just forward this. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
And now an outtake of Carmen getting angry at me.
Like mobsters.
John,
yeah.
can I finish my story? Because how are people supposed to understand?